folks. Welcome to Drinks, Jokes, and Storytelling. I'm your host, Mark Rigodana. With me, as always,
Richie Byrne. How much did I look out of it? I was like,
dude. During our pre-show meeting, I was like, is Richie on the wrong day? Is he smoke jokes and storytelling today?
I don't know what's going on. I don't know.
You foggy?
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't get ashes, maybe because it's Ash Wednesday.
Oh, now did you not get ashes today because you're a bad Catholic or because of COVID?
Well, this year because of COVID, but
the last 35 years was
still gonna blame COVID. I prepared ahead of time for COVID, bro.
Well, that's what, I mean, in the comedy circles we run in, most people know you as Nostradamus Byrne.
Yes.
So I'm good. So it's crazy. The kids went back to school. They're going back. So
wow.
Axel had his first day Thursday, and then he was off Friday. What's up, Kaden? So he was off Friday and then off Monday. So he went back and he did the school bus yesterday, and then he did it again today. But then Duke started preschool, and they both love it, which is great. And I love, because when I drop Duke off and I come home, it's the first time in a year I've had the house to myself.
Oh, even your wife?
Kids.
Your wife's not teaching from home?
No, she's teaching, but she's in the office, and I actually can do laundry, exercise, clean the house. Like, I did all this stuff, and then I looked at the clock and was like, it's only 10 o'clock in the morning. Like, I can't believe how much I got done without having to clean up after kids. Justin Gonzalez is in the house.
All right, so listen, it's a great show today.
And it's a really good show.
But we usually jump, you and I talk, and then we bring on the guest. But today, we're going to bring on the guest.
We're going to bring on the guest because we got a I don't know if we want to say it's a huge announcement, but we got an announcement.
We do? Well,
yeah.
This is every third Wednesday, we're going to bring on a non-comic as a guest, this is our first non-comedy guest. And he's somebody very close to both of us. He's been your friend for a very long time.
Yeah, 15 some years, I think.
He's been very important in my life in the last 5 years. I love him so much. Should we get him out here? Introduce him.
That's, folks, from Geno Steaks, Geno Vento is in the house.
Hey, guys.
How are you?
What's going on?
You guys.
Living in a beautiful house.
Come to Rehoboth.
I think I might.
Look at how nice he's being to us. He was back just ripping us apart. Well, ripping me apart.
No, I would never do something like that.
Huh?
I would never do something like that.
I think you had the best line, though, backstage. You said you look like George Washington.
A fat George Washington.
Fat George Washington.
And I said, where's your Aquanet?
Yeah. How are you, Geno?
Good.
We're going to I want to talk about the fact that it is, Fran. Hey, Fran. And Stefan, it is Lent today. And I decided, now I want you guys to do something. This
is our big announcement right here.
Yes. Is this the big announcement?
This is the big announcement I was thinking of.
If you guys can get odds on Vegas on this, I highly recommend you bet against it. I am going to give up drinking for Lent, and I can guarantee you I won't make it. I will not make it. But
with that attitude, I'm going to say you're not.
I'm drinking Diet Coke.
I'm drinking black cherry seltzer.
And the one that doesn't really drink the most is drinking Cran Raz and Tito's.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
So this is like a role reversal over here.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm only going with the seltzer because I don't want to be drunk before the kids come home.
Now, my question to you is, if we're doing this reverse thing, like, am I turning straight and you guys are turning gay?
Yes. Yeah, maybe.
Well, no, it's not Richie.
I'm no longer a lesbian.
Never.
I miss you guys.
We miss you so much. I know I do.
It's so crazy to think that it's been a year since we've been out and about.
Right? I mean, more than a year that we've seen each other.
Yeah.
Even Mark and I, we haven't seen each other. Right?
Yeah, we started doing the studio recording at Shared Universe during the pandemic, but that got cut short because people started getting sick.
Yeah.
And then we started doing it streaming again like this. So, Geno, what did you give up for Lent?
Nothing.
I'm in the same boat. I didn't even really.
I'm with Richie. I always say I'm going to give up, chocolates, or I'm going to give up this or that, and it just, my emotions, my eating and cooking and everything, it just goes out the tube. So
you know what, Geno? It sucks when you fail, and you know what I mean. So it's hard to, I haven't given anything up for years, but I really, with the pandemic, drinking has become more a part of my life. So I just decided I need a break, and I don't want to look like a fat George Washington anymore. So hopefully in 6 weeks, I'll be Ellen DeGeneres.
I don't know if you want to be her.
Is pot legal in New York?
I don't know. I think
because you should get tincture.
I don't really need pot to be legal to worry about it, if you know what I mean.
No, but
come to Philly.
No, but have you ever heard of tinctures? No. They're like little eyedroppers, and it's liquid THC.
You put them in your eyes?
No, in your mouth. You put it under your tongue. You put it in your eyes. Geno did. Look at those eyes. Can you do this, Geno? Can we see your eyes? Because you just had them dilated.
Yeah, I went to the eye doctor and got my checkup. So for a little bit, Richie and you were like floating a little bit and fuzzy, but now you're starting to clear in a little.
Do this, Mark.
That's how gay Richie is. He floats into the room. Stefan said gave up no sex for Lent. It's the tincture though. I've been taking it every morning, just a tiny bit, not enough to get super high.
And what does it do? It chills you out.
Calms me down
in the morning.
With 2 kids, I mean, how do you?
I'm at my stressors are up to here. I have 3 projects kind of going on as well as us doing this. I've just, what's that?
I said, you're with me. I mean, you know how stressful that is, Geno.
You soothe me. You soothe me, Richie.
I just have Andre deal with you.
Yes. All right, listen. Before we do the joke and before we move on, let's get over to Twitch only. Mark.
Well, let's do the joke and switch over to Twitch.
Joke?
Yeah.
All right. In honor of Lent, I have a Pope joke. So, Colonel Sanders. You're right.
Now we know Richie's religion.
Colonel Sanders, who, if I grew a little thing, I could look like. Colonel Sanders started losing. They were losing sales on the chicken. And he didn't know what to do. So he went to the Pope, he called him. He said, listen, I'll give you $20 million. All I need you to do is every mass, every priest, change the words from give us this day our daily bread to give us this day our daily chicken. And the Pope said, 20 million is a lot of money, but that's the Lord's Prayer. I can't do it. So Colonel Sanders says, okay. So a few months go by, sales are even worse. He calls me in, he goes, I got $50 million. Pope, all you have to do, change the words, give us this day our daily bread, to give us this day our daily chicken. Pope goes, 50 million is so much we could do it. I can't. I just can't. It's the Lord's Prayer. It's the Our Father. I can't do it. So a few more months go by. Pope calls me and goes, I got $100 million. $100 million. I just need you to change the words from give us this day our daily bread, to give us this day our daily chicken. The Pope goes, all right, give me a couple of days. I'll take care of it. So the Pope calls the whole congregation together, cardinals and bishops, and he goes,
Sparrows.
I got good news. I got bad news. He said, the good news is we're going to get $100 million from KFC. They go, oh, that's amazing. What's the bad news? He goes, we lost our deal with Wonder Bread.
All right, folks, I hope you enjoyed that joke. We are switching over from Facebook only to Twitch. So if you do not have a Twitch account, join twitch.tv/drinksjokes, the letter N, storytelling. And you can join us over there, and that's where the rest of the show will be. So goodbye, Facebook friends.
In the morning, he goes to the mirror. You gotta move. You gotta get a bigger house. Why? Too much stuff. You gotta move all your stuff.
All right, now that we got rid of those Facebook nerds, we can get real. I forget. Oh, we were talking about the tinctures. Richie, you gotta get into it. It'll replace your drinking. I started getting sick when I drank. Like I would have one beer.
Oh, I get. You got to buy it through like a pot place.
Yeah, it's a scientifically done thing. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I would love to, but I can't buy it here yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, maybe when I'm in New Jersey, I'll find a place. It's in New Jersey, right?
Or PA.
Or PA.
Yeah, PA passed it. I think my workers are happy.
Speaking of work, how's the business doing with the pandemic? Has anything changed? Has it gotten bad? Gotten good?
Actually, I mean, we've been holding its own. I mean, in the beginning, when it first started in March, I mean, we definitely took a drop, like with everybody across the country. But thank God Dad thought ahead back in the day and kept everything outside open, eatery with the tables, outside service. So there was little minimum downtime, maybe 6 weeks worth. And then little by little, it was picking up. But I can say is that we kept all our workers on for 100% of the time. Nobody got laid off or we had to close or anything. So, you can get a cheesesteak anytime.
That's awesome. That's really awesome.
Well,
I was thinking
I'll be working for you soon, Geno.
Huh? Hey, anytime. I'll put you on the soda window.
Richie would be great. He'd be like, one for me, one for you, one for me, one for you. I was thinking about it when we were logging on. I said, there's two ways it could have went. One is like everybody else, it slowed down, it got bad, but then there was second part of me that's like, wait, they just go up to a window, it's takeout, which is the only thing allowed to be open even during the quarantine.
And I would think with the legalization of marijuana that a lot of people are looking for something to eat at 2:00 in the morning.
Well, we also have the delivery service. We have Uber Eats, DoorDash, and Grubhub.
Wow.
And then we expand it. Now we do easy catering. So we deliver up to 20 or 25 miles from the steakhouse. So you can get a delivery along with the DoorDash, Uber Eats, and Grubhub.
Holy shit.
So we can actually deliver to your house, Mark.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Can I request the driver?
I guess so. I don't know. We just started about 2 weeks ago.
I'm going to go. I want Geno to deliver it.
Test site. You can try it out and see how it goes.
I'm going to have you and Andre have to deliver it, and then you'll just, it's going to get cold out tonight, so you might just have to stay over.
Okay. Definitely.
I got bunk beds.
Yeah, and I can make breakfast in the morning.
Deal.
Because it's your new thing.
Yeah. Tell us what you've been up to.
Went back to school. I started September 30th. I signed up to the Escoffier online school. It's the first accredited online course that you can do, and it's for 15 months. And we go through basic knife skills, chopping, prepping, mise en place, and then we go into soups and emulsions and, braising and grilling and barbecuing and all that stuff for right now. And then next course, which starts in 6 weeks, I do world cuisine, and I get to pick 2 places. So I'm thinking of doing definitely Italy. I'm not sure what my second one's going to be.
Now, on your choice, I get why Italian. That makes sense. Now, for your second choice, are you going to try to pick something that you already know you like, or are you going to try something exotic that maybe you don't know?
I don't know yet.
Come on, Richie, let's pick for him.
They haven't really gave us a full list yet of what we can and can't pick. I'm just going by what former students have been posting, because we have like our own forum that we go into and we can see other students' work, and if we have any questions or whatever. It's an unbelievable course because as you know, I went to the Walnut Hill College restaurant school, and I graduated 7 years now that I graduated from.
That's
6 or 7 years, and that was fun and everything. But this school, wow, being online, having teachers access 24/7. There's not really a lot of distractions. You get to read everything online, and then you get to cook at home. And if you have a problem or a question, there's a help desk, there's tutors. I mean, it's unbelievable. And then my neighbors love it because all the food I'm making, I just deliver to all them around the area.
You just go door to door. Hey, today was deviled eggs day. Who likes deviled eggs?
Last week was good. I did creme brulee. I did 2 bread puddings, and I did fresh caramel sauce.
Oh.
Some people say caramel. I say caramel. So.
Caramel's better.
Caramel's American. Caramel is like you're trying to be French.
All right, I'm not going to be Renee.
The caramel.
But I'm learning so much, and I sent some pictures over so you guys can see.
Yeah, let's look at some.
Let's pop some of those bad boys up. Tell us what they are when they come up. The Franny says hello, Richie. So now what are some of the ideas you have for the second country you want to go to?
I don't know. I was thinking maybe like Spain I want to do, or Greece, but that kind of is the same.
It's close to Italian. Yeah, like a Mediterranean flair.
Yeah, so Andre would want me to probably do like vegan.
Hey, Geno, Tom's asking for like food pics. Like what? You're talking about training. Is there something there? Like you could tell Tom bang this up?
If you want to do the bread pudding, if not, there's a fresh pasta with scallops I sent.
Tom?
I think Tom just said give him 5 minutes. Something must have went wrong.
5 pics. He wrote pics.
No.
Every time we need Tom, he needs 5 minutes.
My work over, so you guys can grade me.
How does it work for getting graded? You move the camera down and watch you chop, and actually, they go, "You're doing that right. You're doing that."
A sheet, and it gives you a list of the requirement photos that I have to do from mise en place all the way to the finished product. And some have 7 steps, 10 steps, 12 steps, and you take pictures along the way. And the chef looks at them and can tell if your sauce broke, if you overcooked the chicken, if your souffle started out like creamy and then at the bottom of it kind of looked like scrambled eggs, so you overcooked it. We do a flavor wheel. I fill out a 2-page narrative, and it goes in depth of what I like, what the consistency, what the aroma, the taste, the flavor, all that stuff. And we write all about it. And then the teacher gets it all, reads it, looks at my pictures, and then gives me about a 2 to 2.5 minute video report card of my week. And so far, I'm rocking a 99.
Nice. Well, look at with pictures like this. I don't blame. This is.
Yeah, that's the caramel bread pudding I made, and that's
better than porno.
Vanilla bourbon whipped cream.
I see the money shot there with a little caramel on top.
Yep. So I used the 2 things I made, and then what's the next picture?
Oh.
Spaghetti with a bolognese sauce, fresh shaved Parmesan, and seared cheesesteaks.
See, now that's an actual serving size, right? That's like if you actually went by what it says on the box, you got an actual serving size. Because I've eaten with you, and you've never made pasta that size.
Yeah,
that's 2 plates of food.
Well, we've been hanging around, Mark, too much. I know you very well. And my mom knows you very well.
There's 1 plate of scallops, another whole. Oh, look at that!
Yeah, that's creme brulee.
It looks like that creme brulee has an oil leak.
yeah.
What happened?
Just a little bit of caramel had to go on it. I just couldn't resist.
Is that artsy, or do you put the spoon in the caramel and then get the creme brulee?
Basically, I got the caramel and pushed it, and then to the other side of the plate. Then put the creme brulee on, and then torched it. So I finally have my own torch.
Nice.
That's cool to do. But to be honest with you, with the course, I'm learning how to plate because growing up, I never liked my food touching. So it was a whole experience. Like I had to put chicken with sauce and like potatoes together, or I had to put string beans or asparagus laying across the braised beef and all that. And I'm like, no. I'm
with you. What? I don't like my food touching.
Why?
And my teacher took points off in the beginning because she's like, when you do it, and I'm like, but I don't eat like this. I don't like things touching, you know? So but I'm getting better with, the thing. So I'm learning a lot with the course. And I'm enjoying that. Students from all over the country on the class.
Really?
Yeah, there's about 100 and some kids in my class.
Kids.
Yeah. I'm one of the older ones.
Now, Richie, you were making a face when he was saying that he doesn't like his food touching.
Yeah,
I agree. What's your...
So, like, when you eat, do you only eat one thing at a time then? Or, like...
I do.
Growing up, I do. But now that I'm in this course, I'm learning to mix and taste different layers together and textures. And it's a whole new experience. No comment, but there's like a different texture in my mouth.
He's a one-sword man.
Different layers, Richie.
Yes. There's nothing like texture in your mouth.
So I guess what I'm getting at is I was the same way. I didn't like my food touching, and I ate one thing at a time. Now, unless mashed potatoes were on the plate, and then everything went in the mashed potatoes.
No, I still kept it separated.
That's weird. You're a weird man, Mark Riccatana.
So
nobody has said differently in my life.
So now, is this like, because every year for my wife's birthday, we go to a 3-star Michelin restaurant, right? So we just choose a different one, and we want to knock them all out. So during this course, are they teaching you like this texture goes with this texture, and you like they'll tell you like you take a bite by taking a piece of this, putting it in your mouth at once, and the same idea? That's so interesting.
Flavor profiles, taste, texture, aroma, consistency. All that goes into it. And that's why if you notice Gordon Ramsay, when he's doing his tastings and everything, he'll take a little piece of everything and then put it in his mouth, and it should all marry together. One shouldn't stand out more than the other, or something should be like crunchy and chewy. Everything should be balanced.
Yeah. So interesting.
Wow.
See, now I hear you talking about this, and it makes me, I want to take a snippet that I can take, and whenever I have my hillbilly friends like, nobody makes barbecue better than my chicken, blah, 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 I want to go, click, all right, see, no, yours isn't the best. Everybody I know says they make world-famous barbecue.
Yes.
50 people make world-famous barbecue?
Yep.
Barbecue's hard.
And plus, it depends on what region you're from, too. There's Kansas barbecue. There's Texas barbecue. There's Louisiana, South Carolina. There's all different kinds. So,
I love food. You know what I just got the other day was a cast iron skillet. A cast iron, yeah. it changes the game when you cook a steak or when we seared scallops. So I went to the store just to buy cast iron so I could sear scallops properly. And it's so interesting. You got to clean it differently. You have to. It's called seasoning it, but that really just means putting oil on it.
Who knew Tom would be the most interested person in this one?
What?
I know.
It's everywhere.
Geno's talking food. The two big fellas, and then Tom comes on and knows more about food than all of us.
No way. I love it.
No, well,
So
one of the things that I'm looking to do when I graduate is when everything somewhat gets back to normal, or when it gets normal and opens up, I want to start doing somewhat of a virtual cooking class or cooking demos, and then also do dinners and raise money for different charities. So
I like that.
Like a 5-course, 7-course, and kind of like me and Tony Luke used to do, and raise money. And we used to give stories behind the scenes of the different TV shows, or where we hang out, or we just sit and bullshit at the Rim Cafe and talk, and do stories.
Some of my favorite nights.
Yes, late nights too. And basically just try to raise awareness for different charities, but also having something to learn with. Maybe you want to learn have like a date night, or how to raise beef, or doing desserts, or setting up game day for different game day apps and stuff like that. So we can just kind of personalize it, or do like a fine dining one and try to raise lots of money for like Mana and Children's Hospital. And
why don't we do cooking and comedy for
that's what I was
fundraiser for
just
charity?
Thinking, would you want to do a show? We could do a show on the station with cooking and cooking.
I can
with
cook
comedians.
live in front for you.
It's funny you say that, because I was going
As long as I come to your house and eat it.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead, Richie. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off, buddy.
You didn't. I was saying that
Because steaks are good.
after Geno, when we were done today, I was going to say to Geno, why don't we come up with an idea for a cooking show on this channel?
That'd be fantastic.
Talk about it.
But
I think it'd be.
you guys are going to be forced to eat everything I make. Is that going to be okay with you guys?
As long as the texture is right in my mouth, I'm fine.
I'll make sure it's creamy for you.
Do you know what's
Richie
so
loves Pearl Jam. I'm not changing subjects to music. I'm saying he loves Pearl Jam.
And pearl necklace. Anyway.
I didn't think you were going to go there. I thought we were just going to park on the line.
That was the episode of Sex and the City that I was on. The pearl necklace episode.
Was it?
I wasn't involved in that storyline, but yeah, that was
And it's hysterical because Craig Gass, who is a regular guest on ours, was on the reverse pearl necklace episode.
Yes, he was. You're right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
He was on the clam tartar episode.
Yeah. So, Geno, are you thinking of it? Well, you said what you're going to do with it, but I was wondering, would you ever think about, because I've been with you in restaurants many times, and you're the king. I love, you ever go to, Mark, you go to a restaurant with Geno.
It's the best.
You pay for nothing. They treat you like you're with the president.
Yeah.
And would you ever think about owning a high-end restaurant? Would you ever think about doing something like that? Or
It's funny that you say that, Richie. I've been approached from the first school, and now, with going back to school and people seeing it on Facebook, I've gotten offers. But honestly, I'm happy with the steakhouse, and I'm doing it more for personal reasons, and maybe do like a little food cart, or do these dinners at home and raise money, stuff like that. Like
I love your ideas. I love your ideas.
But I know what it takes to run the steakhouse and to do a restaurant, and having so many items and so much different varieties, and the time. I mean, it averagely takes 60, 70 hours a week minimum, and it takes about 1.5 to 2 years for you to get profitable. Why
don't you do 5-star food truck?
Yeah.
Gourmet dining on the back of a pickup.
Well, there's a guy, I believe, in California. It's a pop-up, and he has a food truck, but he puts on Facebook that day what he's making, and he says he'll be at Lincoln Park, or he'll be at Staples Stadium, or wherever. and he just sets up, and when he sells out, he sells out. And I think that's a cool idea because making the same thing over and over, how many times are you going to make pasta carbonara? How many times are you going to make, lentil soup? How many times are you going to make...
Wait, are you asking how many times I'll make it or how many times I'll eat it? Because there's two answers.
So it's just like, I think it would be better that you have something that you never know where it's going to be and what they're going to make. And it might be something that you never tried before, or it might be one of your favorites. And then it just starts building, a rapport. And then also like, oh, I wonder where Geno's going to be today.
Yeah.
So it makes it more of like a hype.
What are your favorite restaurants? So like out of all the restaurants in the world, besides Geno's Cheesesteaks, of course, what is your favorite? What are some of your favorite spots that you've eaten thus far?
I like Dante and Luigi's in Philly.
You took me there.
Yes.
That place was
amazing.
amazing.
Is the Collegeville Bakery is one of my favorites.
Hey, what was the place we went for lunch in Philly? You didn't want to go. It wasn't the first place you wanted to go. Remember, we kept waiting.
Bully Chasers in the house.
Yeah,
Philly Rant is right.
And also one of my other favorites is in Las Vegas is Giada's. That's unbelievable.
Oh, really?
Yes.
And that's Giada. What's her name? Yeah.
And
what was
right before the big McGregor fight with Dana White with the UFC? I actually flew out, had lunch at Giada's, and hung out with Dana. We talked about the fight and everything, and then I flew home the day after.
Really?
I like how he says it like how I hung out with Richie. Hung out with Dana White. No big deal.
The whole window was the whole map plan of the fight and how we were going to go and, who's going to be there, the celebrity list. And like, it was just really cool.
Wow.
Now, I got it. What was the place we went? So, Geno, I, and Tony Luke went to New York on a couple occasions. We were pitching a show. And he took me to this restaurant, Italy.
Oh, yeah.
Is that the name of it?
Yeah, Lydia Bastian's place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And first of all, Geno, out of Philadelphia, you go to a famous restaurant in New York, he's still the king. You walk in, everybody knew who he was. We got...
No, you're right. It's ridiculous. No matter where we go, everybody...
So,
I love it.
I have a good time. I like to be with my friends, and food always puts a smile on your face. It's always there for you. It never lets you down. So that's how I feel about my friends and food. I like to mix the two together. And another thing, I'm surprised you didn't bring up, Mark, is when we go out, I'm not like one of those one appetizer, one.
Oh, well, I was going to bring this up about Italy because this place was dangerous.
Yeah, go.
Because this is a place. This is a place where when you walk in, there's a cheese section over here, there's a wine section over here, there's a meat section over here, a bread section over here, a pasta. So, like, you go around this giant warehouse and kind of pick your stuff, and then you go to your table. We go, and they're like, all right, you're sitting here. What do you want? We'll go get it. And Geno just can't say what he wants. He says what he thinks everybody wants.
Right.
So you get 40 meals for 3 people. Yeah.
And Geno is the least of it. He leaves it all.
Yeah. Yeah, he'll take 2 bites of everything and go, okay, you got to finish.
Yeah, Mark's good at cleaning his plate.
Yes.
I'm in the clean plate club. You can ask Geno, you can ask my mother.
But, it's just fun. And cooking is just a stress reliever. I know Andre laughs at me because I watch Food Network all the time. Like, it's always on. And even like when I'm cooking and doing my homework, I have it on the background because just watching it, I'm a visual person. And it's just, I might see a different technique or I'll be like, oh, that looks really interesting. Let me try to make that. And then sometimes I tweak it. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes there's ingredients in there that I don't like. And like my new thing now is I've been adding a little bit more spices and a little bit more heat to my dishes.
Yeah.
because I eat like a white girl. So now I'm starting to move up the ladder.
Now I want to know why Andre can stay so thin when you're doing all this cooking. Because
he eats some of it. Like this block is a bunch of pastries and breads and stuff like that. Now he's happy this week because it's emulsification. So I'm doing tonight. I'm doing a grilled Caesar chicken salad. I'm sorry, tongue tied. Grilled chicken Caesar salad. I'm doing a vinaigrette salad, and I'm doing potato salad. So I'll be making those 3 for this week. Mm-hmm. So he's already tried the vinaigrette. So after this show, I'll be doing the Caesar plain with just the cheese, and then I'll do one with a protein. So I picked chicken.
Yeah.
So he's happy about the salads, but like when we do, he doesn't realize a lot of the restaurants there's so much butter, and when you think there's just no butter, there's butter in it.
Yeah,
and those sauces finish with butter. That's why they're all shiny and pretty and all that stuff. It's called mounting. So you mount it with butter.
Everything dirty.
I know. They call this the pile driver.
No, but it's just fun. And then, just learning different techniques, and it's just really cool.
That's great.
Now, what do you think out of all the dishes and stuff that is kind of almost advertised as healthy, but in reality is like really bad for you?
Salad.
Salad?
Yeah, some salads have as much calories as like a cheeseburger.
Really?
But that's the dressing.
Yeah, the dressing. Right? The dressing.
Yeah.
Or sometimes the toppings, like they put those, the chow mein noodles, they'll put like the craisins, they put nuts in it, gorgonzola, blue cheese.
Yeah. Wait, that stuff's not good for you?
Well, I mean, maybe like 2 spoonfuls, but not like a whole salad. But no, a lot of people get really racked up. And like when, what was it? Like 3-4 years ago, the restaurants in certain states, I think New York was one of them, was mandated where they had to put the calories, the fat, and all that.
Oh, yeah.
Sales went right down, and then they changed it a year later because like people weren't eating. Like you go to the Cheesecake Factory, and the cheesecake, was sometimes less than one of the meals.
Absolutely.
Yeah, one of the I forget if it's a chocolate cake or the carrot cake had 1,700 calories for one piece.
Jesus Christ, and it has carrot in the title.
I know. You would think it's healthy.
I'm with Polly Chaser. I think the trick now is whenever you get a hamburger, get it with pickles and lettuce and call it your hamburger salad. There's a hamburger salad. You're good to go. You're good. So carrot cake's not good for you. Salads seem to be bad.
Well, it can be good for you. It's just what you put in it. I like variety. I like cheeses. I wish cheese was a food group. I mean, I think I would pick cheese over probably pasta or bread. I think.
Yeah.
Cheese over pasta.
Is there a certain area that you like? Is there a certain type of cooking, like from different areas, that you like Italian influence, whereas like Mediterranean influence? Is there anything that you prefer over others?
I would say my 2 favorite categories, I don't really say foods, but categories, is Italian and comfort food.
Yeah.
How about a bowl of like a 3-cheese mac with a chicken cutlet, and I'll throw some string beans in. I'll make it a little healthy, but have it with garlic and marinara, and you put a pinch of sugar in, and you just let it simmer so it becomes sweet and tender. And then have like a tiramisu or a chocolate mousse, and you shave chocolate Heath bar on top of it, and you make a vanilla whipped cream. That's a night.
Yeah, I'm so hungry right now. I'm trying to lose weight, and I'm having these combos.
Well, if you want, we can change the subject and we can go talk about something else.
Well, you know what? That's the perfect segue. I want to talk about some of these incredible pictures. But time runs so fast when you're enjoying it, and I'm enjoying this interview so much. But let's bring up.
I know foodie to foodie. I love it.
I am so excited. We're definitely doing a food show on this channel. It's got to happen because I'm like, it's so amazing. I am totally enthralled. Sorry, Richie. I don't want to. I think What are you thinking right now, Richie?
Richie's fixing his hair.
So how about we bring up some of these photos, because we have you with some incredible celebrities. Let's start off with this one right here.
Oh, that's the.
Oh my God. That was when we were babies, Mark.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you right now, if you remember being there, you weren't there, man.
Atlantic City.
That is Atlantic City back in the early 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I was a single Mark Rigodona.
And I was a single Geno. Wait.
Polly said the same thing. Why does he insist on making us so hungry?
I know. When Geno describes food, I'm just like, God damn it, I was doing so good today. Right. Now I'm going to go eat something.
Another thing about school, sorry to go back, but it's teaching you how to, like, when you're eating and filling out these flavor profiles and, like, the consistency, the texture, the aromas and all that. Like, when you're eating, the best way to do it is you take your first bite, close your eyes, and you have 5 sensors in your mouth. And when you're eating it, when you're swishing or when you're chewing, you're going to hit different sensors. And by closing your eyes, you can actually visualize the taste even more.
Oh. I love it. I could do so many hours on this because I like to travel and then taste different things from different areas. So yeah. I'm dying to get to China and such, but they said the textures of food there are very gelatinous. Like that's a delicacy to them. Mm-hmm. Like my wife is not into it. I'll give you a quick story. One time we're in this Chinese restaurant, we were the only non-Chinese people in this restaurant, but it was in New York. But I'm like, it was really, really authentic. It's an authentic dumpling house. They bring around stuff. And I like to order everything. I'm like, give me some of that. Let me try that. I like that plate. And I see everybody's ordering this bowl. It's brown and it's got this green garnishing. I'm like, what is this? Everybody's getting it. So I call a waiter over. Nobody speaks English. I'm like, what is that? And he's like, I don't know how to say the words to it. Hold on. He goes and gets another guy. He brings the guy out from the back. I'm like, what? He's trying to say, what's in that bowl? He's like, he does that to me. I'm like, I have no idea what he's saying. He's like, hold on. Goes to the kitchen.
Heroin.
Gets another guy. Exactly. That's exactly what it looked like. Gets another guy. Comes back. He's like, oh, it's coagulated pig's blood. It's blood. He was trying to tell me it's blood. That's what they do. They make this like gelatinous blood, but everybody's eating it. So I'm like, I gotta try it.
Great job, Tom. I'm not hungry anymore.
Really?
But you know what's funny? We ordered it before they got the last guy to tell us what it was. So me, my wife, and I had my mother-in-law and my mother with us out for lunch. And everybody's tasting it. My mother wouldn't eat it. She's like, I don't trust it. So I taste it.
I'm with her.
It's like air. My wife is like, yeah, it's like air. My mother-in-law's like, it tastes a little like liver. When they finally told us, my wife does this. She goes, mm-hmm. I'm like, don't you dare do that here.
That was $40 worth of.
But I'm like, that's so disrespectful. They're all eating it and enjoying it. It was weird.
This is where the pandemic really started, Tom.
Right I know. I wouldn't order it again, but it was an interesting.
Tom, tell us about the time you ate the bat in the black market.
Back in Wuhan. Would you? You know what? I want to ask Geno that. You're a foodie. Would you go to like a wet market and try stuff like that from those type of places?
On camera, I'll probably say yes, but no. Honestly, I'm probably one of the fussiest eaters, but with school, I'm learning to try different things. But what you described to me,
well, you know what? It didn't look like blood, and it looked. Everything else I've had there is delicious. I mean, some random stuff.
Maybe if you didn't tell me what it was, I may be like aggressive to try it. But yeah. Honestly, if like I look with my eyes, and if it doesn't look right, I hate to say it, I'm not a true chef in that way. Like
it looked good.
Stuck on like what I like and what I'm making, but now with school, I'm starting to venture out into different aspects of cooking, braising, and doing different stuff. So I'm learning different textures and different flavor palettes. So I'm definitely broadening the spectrum, I guess you would say, but I'm not that adventurous yet. I'm getting there. If not, I just pass it on to Marky.
So I got a question.
Everybody, like Mikey.
Round robin, what's the most adventurous thing you've eaten? Everybody in the chat too. If you're out there with us, tell us what's the most adventurous thing you've eaten. But go ahead, Mark, kick it off. Go ahead.
So I am super. I will try almost anything except with a conscience. Like I heard like I wouldn't eat dog. I couldn't eat a dog. I love dogs too much, so there's no chance I could even fathom thinking about it. I also heard and know like it's a regular thing, but it's good protein. But like you were talking about Chinese people, they eat worms. I don't know if I could do it. I mean, when I was in Singapore, and you walk through the market, and they have all the aquariums with all that like seafood and different weird shit that they catch, and like frogs, and I just go like, that just doesn't look good. Maybe when it's presented, when it's cooked, I would try it, but like seeing it and knowing that's what I'm going to eat, I can't do it.
What about you?
I am the most fussy eater. Like I'm embarrassed to go places because there's so many things I just can't eat. I'm like really bad that way. And I've insulted friends. My friend makes meatballs every year for some Christmas party. And every year he's like, I make the greatest meatballs. You got to eat my meatball. I'm like, are there onions in it? He goes, yeah. I don't like onions.
You won't eat tomatoes, right? Aren't you tomatoes?
Anything made from a tomato, sauce, ketchup, but I cannot eat a tomato itself. I just can't do it.
You truly are an Irishman.
My friend, but here's the thing, like my friend Dougie's like, eat my meatball every year for like 5 years at this party. I'm like, Dougie, they have onions in them. And it's the old, you won't even taste them. Yes, I will. I've been through this my whole life. So one year I go, well, next year just make a batch without onions and I'll eat them. And he's like, oh, what? I got to make you your own personal batch. I'm like, no, you keep on me eat the fucking meatballs. There used to be a show on cable. Some guy went around the world eating weird delicacies. I forget the name of it. It was kind of
Somebody Feed Phil.
But
what's it? Zimmerman.
Bizarre Foods.
And he was on the Dr. Oz show.
Yeah.
And he had a fungus that Oz wouldn't eat. And Oz made me come down and eat it during the break. And it was the most disgusting. It was just like eating somebody's saliva. It was so. And Oz even goes, I didn't think you'd really do it. I'm like, I thought I'd be fired if I didn't. and I was like, if you knew how bad I am. And the guy was like, no, try it. It was so gross, man.
When I was in when I was in the Middle East, there was some food that was really questionable that I was like, tasted like rotted milk.
Yeah.
And they put it on top of it, like rice, and it was foul, but they were like, it's really good. And I just kept picturing in my head that it's rice pudding. It's rice pudding. And I ate it. But like,
I can't eat because of that taste, the texture of rice.
Yeah, I didn't say that.
But the thing is like, but also some of the best food I ever had was when I was in the Middle East with the different dips and stuff. Like I can't believe I can't think of the name of it. They make it from chickpeas, hummus, like different hummuses and all that stuff. That was some of the best I've ever had. But I don't know. I can't remember what it is. It was like it smelled like rotten milk or something, like bad cottage cheese.
I can't eat onions. I can't eat tomatoes. I can't eat Brussels.
Make sure you give me your list, Richie, so when I cook, I'll have a separate plate just for you.
What's the one? Lentils. When I was a kid, I ate at my friend's house. His mother made lentil soup, and I could not eat it. And she was so offended by it, man.
I just made that last week. I made vegetable lentil soup. It was to die for.
I eat that 2-3 times a week, lentils. I
love it.
Protein, healthy source.
And yet I love beans. Love beans. I can eat black beans, red beans. Love beans.
Polly Chaser's from the Netherlands. He said you never hear people talking about the Dutch cuisine for obvious reasons.
I have a question, and maybe Polly Chaser can help, and Geno, you might be able to help. But the Pennsylvania Dutch, which are the Amish, are they the same as the Dutch of the Netherlands, but like the American version? And their food's amazing. They do the smorgasbords and the shoe-fly pie. Are they the same, or is that like an Italian versus an Italian-American where it's like, ask somebody from Italy and they'll go, yeah, they're not one of us.
Honestly, I don't know.
No? Polly Chaser, if you know, let us know. American Dutch, the Pennsylvania Dutch specifically is what they call them. They're Amish, and there's a high school around here, and their mascot's the Flying Dutch.
I can't stop watching his hair.
What the hell are you doing? You look like a mad scientist right now.
The guy from Back to the Future.
No, you don't look like Doc Brown. You look like him from Taxi.
Yeah.
That's right.
So,
Reverend Jim.
with the celebrities, which one was first?
Oh yes, let's get some of these I know, but I don't want to run out of time. But
And then we keep talking about food.
Wow.
Joan
There
Rivers.
she is.
Right before she passed away, about 8 months, we were filming Joan Knows Best. And we were friends for about 15 years. And funny story is, the table right behind you was all the my celebrity table. And actually, you can see Mark's face right there on the corner.
That's right.
That's Mark.
Wow.
Where?
And I had pictures, like a collage made, and there's a picture of Joan with facelift number 4, facelift number 9, facelift number 14, and she just looks at me and she goes, "You're such a bitch." But she was one of the most sweetest, down-to-earth, caring, lovable, humble person you will ever meet. And till this day, she is my favorite person I've ever met.
Really?
Favorite person. She's just an unbelievable person.
It's just because you, her, and Andre should remake the Golden Girls.
Yeah. You know what the funny part was? Is trying to watch her eat a cheesesteak. She couldn't open her mouth, so she kept gumming it. She couldn't get around her teeth and everything. It was the funniest thing.
I want to reiterate one more time who Geno is. So Geno is Geno from Geno's Cheesesteaks in Philadelphia. So we do have an international crowd that watches us, right? So there's people from all over the European Union and the Netherlands that are some of our biggest supporters. So Polly Chaser's from the Netherlands. So I don't know if he's ever been to Philadelphia, but in Philadelphia, yeah, come on down. And he is the king of cheesesteaks. It is arguable that he has the best cheesesteak in the world because Philadelphia is known for cheesesteaks.
Thank you.
Geno's Cheesesteaks.
Well,
Polly Chaser, stay with me at my house, and then we'll go further into Pennsylvania and go after those Amish and beat the story out of them and find out why they're using.
Yeah, Polly said no idea either. We traditionally have high-calorie stuff that makes farmers stuffed from hard work. In the modern world, it's all a little bit more international here, though. And look at that, he says.
Dutch come from Germany. It's different. That's
Wow.
Polly doesn't even know what a cheesesteak is. How crazy is that?
Mark, we'll have to show him some pictures. But also, we're 24 hours, so you can get a cheesesteak any time of the day.
And 7 days a week. You never.
Yeah, we only close Christmas and Thanksgiving.
And for how long?
Tom, can you pull a picture of a cheesesteak of Geno's?
I got you. Give me one
I would say
second.
Richie's probably at least 30 years.
No, how long when you're closed on Thanksgiving and Christmas?
Thanksgiving is about 20 some hours. Like 22 hours, I think. And Christmas is like 27, 28 hours.
Okay, interesting.
And we have a line waiting when we open. That's the funny part.
Really?
They start marking themselves a half hour out.
That's
So
everybody got a fight at dinner and never got dinner. They got a family fight and had to leave because they were pissed.
Yep. And they cut the bread, and as we're cutting it, we're bringing 20 rolls up at a time, and we start selling them that way until we get caught up. But these people are hysterical waiting in line. Like the day after Christmas, they're at Geno's at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Well, that's Thanksgiving Eve. Billy and I always went down. My brother-in-law, we drove down and got a cheesesteak from you Thanksgiving Eve to prep our bellies for the Thanksgiving dinner.
Yep. Remember the night of the Plow and the Stars?
That's a Pats. Get that off there.
Do you know what's funny is I Googled Geno's cheesesteak and that came up. Jesus, Mary.
Yeah, sure. No
I
cheesesteak for
swear
you.
to God.
You're cut off.
Competition. You know what's funny? The last time I had a Geno's cheesesteak, we were going to Rome, but I got the flight out of Philadelphia, and my wife needed to update her passport. So we flew down to Philadelphia, applied for her new passport, went to Geno's, got cheesesteaks from everywhere, and we're eating them in the car, then went back, got the rest of the passport, got on the plane, and flew out to Europe. That's the last time I've had one.
Polly Chaser said what I was thinking. Ban Bannis! You're banned!
You gotta hit me
Well,
with
now
the
we're in Philadelphia Airport too now.
Are you?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, we're at the Philadelphia Airport. We're at Xfinity Live, and we're at Rivers Casino.
Can I tell you, I always hated flying out of the Philadelphia airport, that when I had a choice to Newark, even though it's way further, or Philly, I would take Newark, because I hated the Philadelphia airport until you got a place there. Then I'm like, I'm going to go get a cheesesteak.
Well, the funny part is I'm walking through different terminals because we're in the main terminal, but sometimes I usually fly out Southwest and just walking in different terminals, I'll see Geno wrapper or the big Geno handlebags with people traveling with them to other places. And I'm like, should I go up and say something? Should I say thank you? Should I be that weirdo just saying like
autograph it? You just sign the wrapper and walk away. Don't even say anything.
There it is.
There it is.
Oh,
there is a Geno's cheese.
Fries, all those fries.
Don't show Richie the onion.
No, I order cheesesteaks without the onions.
Yeah.
I'm usually. Wait, is that?
Yeah, he wants to know who Richie Byrne is. This is Richie Byrne. Let's tell him a little something about him. He's a thespian, a comic.
Bottom fits me well.
He's a power bottom, though. Power bottom.
And he's actually a professional comedian for years. That is the
Polly Chaser. What's your first show? I mean, what?
Yeah, it's his first one on with us. I think
with this group. So he's
getting to know us.
Mine. Yeah.
Well, we're the original. Screw all those other shows.
This is original recipe, and Richie is. I'll do a little bragging for Richie. Richie is the warm-up comedian for the Dr. Oz show.
He doesn't know
which is it's a popular American TV show.
It is popular in a lot of countries too. It might be in the Netherlands.
And for what, 9 years, Richie? It was
12.
12
years until the pandemic hit. Dr. Oz can't cure Corona, so Richie is out of a job.
A fucking job.
So now Richie has to slum it with the rest of us road comics.
You are making it worse, Mark. He wrote.
You're not the first to say that.
What other pictures we got? Let's talk a few more pictures.
Let's talk pictures. Let me get them up here. We got so many great foods too, still that I didn't get to touch on yet.
There he is, Ralphie May.
We had a special 6X T-shirt made for him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it still looked like Spanx.
I was about to say, he was only a 6X, huh? I thought he would be bigger. He was a big dude.
He was big. He got surgery. He lost a little and then gained some back.
Yeah.
But I went on tour with him. That's the Calamari Sisters. I produced them for 2 years. They started out in New York, and then we brought them to Philly, and then Florida, and then they traveled like little shows, but their main was New York and Philadelphia and DC.
Yeah, it's funny. I was down in Florida, and I'm friendly with the Edwards twins. They're singers. Yeah. And the Calamari Sisters were playing a theater in the town we were driving through. And I was going like, is it a thing that if you cross-dress or, do a drag show or whichever you do, I don't know the right terminology, that you have to be sisters or twins or brothers, or is that a rule?
No, not really. They just played two sisters and everything, but Richie probably can explain it best.
Me?
No, but I rocked with them for 2 years and then took a little bit of a break. And then I had another project that kind of literally fell in my lap. I got called with my manager and got asked if I wanted to be a part of a big show in New York. And I always wanted to do a show on Broadway. And we were talking back and forth, and I invested in it. And it was a little show called The Bronx Tale. And it was with Chaz Palminteri and Robert De Niro. And I didn't realize it was such a cult movie. And
yeah.
It came with really good reviews when it opened up, and it stayed, I believe, 2 years, and then they went on to travel. Kind of like the Jersey Boys when they started out in New York, and then now they're traveling with 7 different shows all over the country.
Yeah, that movie was actually. It's funny that you produced on the play. The movie was shot in my neighborhood in Astoria.
Really?
They shot it 2 blocks from where Angie and I lived.
I have to say, out of all the celebrities I've met, and I've met my fair share, I have to say, walking up to Robert De Niro was a little intimidating because he has that face and that look like "don't fucking bother me" kind of thing. And then as soon as you talk to him, and I was like, "Hey, I'm Geno. I know who you are," and I was just like, "Oh." I was like, I wanted to sponsor. Just want to say hi. It's a pleasure. He's like, "How you doing?" And just totally turned his whole character demeanor and was the nicest guy.
See, it's funny because Mark's the opposite. He looks so nice and then you walk up and he's such a dick to you.
Yeah, and I'm a complete asshole. But up top, I seem.
Yeah.
I'm like a cake filled with dog shit. You see the icing, you get excited.
Yeah, so with the steakhouse and everything, I got to venture out to do other things, and I have a company called Wiz Productions, and I was before the pandemic doing different shows and stuff, and it kind of came to a halt. But you never know what the future is going to be. I might start producing again, and especially after I graduate, get myself back in with the theater people and shows and comedy and all that, because I was traveling around with tons of people. 2 of them right here.
Yes. Yes.
Mark is not a diva compared to Richie. Richie has
that's right.
It's like 2 pages long, his rider list.
Mark and Dustin Chamber love to tell a story about we were on a tour together and I was changing out of jeans into other jeans, like this blue jean. I had from my daytime blue jeans to my
show jeans. And they were ironed.
They could not understand why this was so important to me. Like, it was so important to me that I put on my Showtime jeans.
Mark, you know what I was thinking at the time with Margaret Cho and you when you were working with her?
Yeah.
And you went and talked to her, and you were just like, yeah. And she's like, you look familiar and this and that. And you're like, yeah, well, we weren't with this show. Oh, you're Geno's friend.
Yeah, she was cordial, but kind of, and then the second I mentioned Geno's name in a sentence, she was like, oh, you're Geno's friend. How you doing? Oh, my God, it's so great to see you. It's like, oh, I have to have that Geno street cred. Like, that's what it was.
Well, when I did, I just blanked on her name. TV.
Ellen.
Chef. No, not Ellen.
Rosie.
No, the chef. She's great. I love her.
Rachel
Ray.
Well, I did Rachel Ray's show. I did the warm-up. And as the day was going on, she's very, she has Joey Cola as her warm-up. So whenever someone comes in, she's very not critical, but he's the man. It's hard to follow up to him, So as the day went on, she liked me more and more. And when it got to a point where I turned around and brought up Geno to her, and that was it. I was her guy.
You were in.
Yeah,
like Flint.
Yeah, before the pandemic, I worked with Rachel for a solid year and a half, back and forth, and then she would call me for her lake house and send cheesesteaks up, but the meat separate with the rolls and the cheese, and then she would make the cheesesteaks up there fresh.
Oh, that sounds awesome. Well, hey, are we rating another show, Tom?
We are going to be rating another show
because we should be wrapping here because I know I got to run, and I know Richie, you have.
Yeah, but Geno,
you have to read Vinny's script.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, guys, for having me on. It's been a ball. I miss you guys. It was so good talking food with you, Tom. So
I'm so excited.
Geno, when we decided to do the new version of Drink Shows and Storytelling This Way, Mark and I talked about not always doing comics. And when we said our first guest has to be you, we love you so much.
Thank you.
And
love you guys.
such a pleasure. And make sure you stick around, guys, because right now we're going to raid into Behind the Bits, who is another podcast. It's going to be joining us here on the Drinks, Jokes, and Storytelling channel. And they right now they have an incredible interview going on that they are interviewing April Bruckner. So I'm going to get into that. I will see you guys over there. Talk to everybody in a little bit.
Hang on, Geno.
Hang on for sure.
See you guys later. Thank you, guys. Have a good day.
Woo.
All right, Geno. Hang around, though.
Thanks, Polly Chaser, for hanging with us.
Thanks, man.